The international community has provided unprecedented support to Ukraine in repelling the Russian invasion and in helping prepare for post-war challenges. For the Euro-Atlantic community, the war and its long-term impacts hits especially close to home.
They are the ones that are fighting for their lives, for their country, for their independence. Turns out they're also fighting for European security and U.S. security.
For all of us in the West, Ukrainians are fighting our fight. This is the future of our liberties and rules-based order that is being fought in the trenches in Ukraine.
And it is overwhelmingly adopted.
Ukraine has formally applied for membership in the European Union, and its addition would have real benefits for both parties. As they consider Ukraine's accession, EU members will want to see that Ukraine is taking steps to strengthen its political institutions, implement systematic anti-corruption measures, and demonstrate its commitment to the values that underpin the EU: freedom, democracy, and rule of law.
The reason that this is so complicated to join the European Union is that it's not just like joining a club of states, that it is about joining the EU, which has thousands and thousands of pages of laws and regulations that Ukraine will have to adopt, that Ukraine will have to change their own rules and regulations, their own laws, and they will have to have the capacity to implement those rules, to oversee them, and the legal structures to make sure that people in Ukraine, businesses, are adhering to them.
I would hope chapters of negotiations will be effectively dealt with by Ukraine when it comes to enactment of the laws, the new regulatory frameworks, development of institutional capacities, and changing environment on the ground when it comes to building free, democratic market economy locally in Ukraine in the way that could be aspirational for so many other countries that would aspire to join the EU.
These reforms would support Ukraine's post-war reconstruction by bolstering the country's credibility in the eyes of potential foreign investors. EU accession would also provide Ukraine access to a larger market and the free movement of capital, labor, goods, and services. But the accession process will have its challenges.
Ukraine will face a lot of challenges in trying to implement EU law. If you are a country and you have certain sets of laws and rules and procedures, and then suddenly you have to change all of those to adhere to another standard, there's all sorts of complications that arise. What is working in Ukraine's favor is the real sense of national unity to overcome those challenges and to move as quickly as possible. We're seeing the Ukrainian people do extraordinary things every day, and it wouldn't surprise me, because of the extraordinary political unity that currently exists, that Ukraine is able to take steps that other countries, that other applicants for the EU took many months and years.
Working towards Ukraine's accession during this period of conflict also presents challenges, but despite the uncertainty, it is an important step for the future of both Ukraine and the Euro-Atlantic world.
The Ukrainians now see the importance of governance. They now see the importance of reforming their judiciary. They now see the importance of reducing the power and influence of corrupt oligarchs. They know what needs to be done.
There will be many voices that will say, okay, we don't know the frontiers, and there is a war, and there is reconstruction, and we have to tell them, reconstruction is there. Okay, yeah, that's a reality. War is there, but what we have to do is to design the future of Ukraine in the European Union, and the European Union with Ukraine.
We owe that help to Ukraine to help them to be successful in this process. And that's where we come in terms of help and assistance, including a development agency like USAID from the US government side to help our colleagues, partners to develop their capacities, to help them in pursuing reforms so that ultimately they are successful in that succession process, and then Ukrainian people ultimately benefits itself from being member of the European Union, but I firmly believe that European Union itself benefits from having Ukraine as its new member.